Welcome back. The Herd is coming up next here on FS1. Let's head over to Colin Cowherd. Colin, what's on the show today?
Great day for the Minnesota Vikings. Really bad day for Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. They're doing the impossible in the NFL. We'll talk about that coming up.
Thanks, Colin. Time for our final topic of the day. LeBron and the Cavs are on the road in Phoenix tonight. Cleveland lost 2 straight in L.A. this weekend and are now just 4-6 since the All-Star break. Shannon.
Here we go.
Shannon.
This is it.
What do you expect tonight?
Big one.
I expect the Cavs to win a close, hard-fought ball.
Close, hard-fought game? You sound like Tom Brady.
Yeah, Devin Booker, he's missed the previous game, but you know, at any given time, he can go off for 40, 50 points. And considering the way the Cavs are playing defense right now, it's more likely he scored 40 or 50 as opposed to 20, 30. But I do think...
Are you predicting that Devin Booker could score 40 on the Cavaliers?
Yeah, he could.
Whew.
But LeBron will have like a 35-point triple-double tonight.
Really?
They'll get the win, and then go up on Thursday and get a dub in Portland.
You don't think they'll be looking ahead to that game
No,
Portland,
we can't look at
which now has won 10 in a row, and you got to go up there on Thursday?
Cavs going to hawk that.
I never promised you a rose garden, right?
Cavs will hawk that.
Yeah. Hawk it?
Hawk.
Okay.
We'll put a stop to it.
I'll halt that. Yeah. Well, they better win this game because the new Cavs are now 6-6 with the best player on the planet, LeBron James, and that will not cut it. So LeBron has reached for the injury excuse, and is that what we're going to hear after tonight's game?
LeBron James is the best player on the planet. In his last 12 games, he's 6-6. Supposedly, the other best player on the planet is 0-2 without Steph Curry.
Averaging 40 a game.
I don't even know about that.
Having hit
22
out of 22
I don't know about that average. Oh, whoa.
Wow.
Joy. The one thing I don't serve at my restaurant is averages.
Oh, really?
I serve dubs and I serve L's.
Well, wait. How does LeBron even get close to your restaurant?
Because he averages 29, 10, and 9.
He could just be distracted because he could say after the game, I saw Shannon Sharp the other day, and I just can't get him off my mind.
Nah, he said, I saw my partner. We was out there at the restaurant about to go get some sushi.
Yeah.
But he had to go, so he hit me up next time.
You don't eat sushi.
I don't.
Would you eat sushi for LeBron?
No. I don't know. I don't want anything that a good vet could have saved. And sushi, a good vet could have saved it. But anyway, Skip Baylor, the Cavaliers, we're going to win this hard fought ball. JR going to give me 15 tonight. JR give me 15 tonight.
He better.
And we need what you call it. George Hill got to give us some points, too. You need George Hill to give us something.
You're playing against a team that has lost 20 of its last 22 games, that only by half record is clear of having the worst record in all of basketball. Only Memphis is worse than Phoenix.
Well, I want Brooklyn to keep losing also. Because we won't get DeAndre.
I think you're a little nervous about tonight.
I'm always, the way they play, you've seen them play over the last last week. But LeBron got this. Felt real comfortable. He's like, yeah, I'm good. A healthy, strong mind, physically.
So
playing a long time.
Do we have a bet on Thursday night, or are we going to wait till tomorrow to figure that out?
We'll talk about it tomorrow.
All right.
Let me sleep on it. After I watch this. You know she is Phoenix. She had Camelback.
That's it for us. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 9:30 Eastern. Right now, Colin Cowherd tells you why Kirk Cousins, through the Vikings, will have a huge impact on the NFL. The Herd starts now.
This is The Herd. Wherever you may be and however you may be listening, live in Los Angeles. iHeartRadio, Fox Sports Radio, FS1 for 3 hours. Holly Saunders joining me. Very exciting, Holly. We got all this NFL stuff going on.
A lot of stuff going on, but I'm still playing with my cats, going to a museum, paying parking tickets like you think I do.
We love the fact that you're in again today.
Thank you.
We love having you.
I love being here.
All right, that's awesome. Okay, we got news, folks. Kirk Cousins, it's being reported, made the right decision. He's going to be a Minnesota Viking. This was the right call. Of course, Minnesota overpaid for him. Listen, there are a handful of things in life you overpay for. As I always say, central air in Arizona, overpay for it. A winter coat in the Northeast, overpay for it. A quarterback in the NFL, you're probably going to have to cut corners elsewhere. They overpaid a little bit for Kirk Cousins, probably about $5-6 million a year. I don't love the deal, but I love the direction of the Minnesota Vikings, and it tells me a lot about Kirk Cousins. Okay, because I've said this over and over again. Don't chase just money in life. Money's important. I get it. You got kids, you got college, you got a future, you want a house. Listen, money's important. Chase good management. There's a sea of money out there. There's not a lot of good managers. There's not a lot of great NFL teams. There's not a lot of great scouting departments. Minnesota is really, really well run, and the Jets, his other choice, are not. Minnesota's got 2 legitimate game-breaking wide receivers, a star running back, a great defense, a solid head coach, a tremendous front office, and they play indoors. 8 guaranteed games, actually 9 if you count the Lions, every year. Kirk Cousins doesn't have the world's strongest arm. The Jets have no receiving core. Their tight end apparently leaving. The running game in shambles. A defensive head coach, we don't know how good he is. And they play all their games outdoors. And then they travel to Foxborough outdoors. And then they travel to Buffalo outdoors. And they play all their home games in the NFL's windiest stadium. And he's got no weapons. Minnesota has a surplus of weapons. Tight end, 2 receivers, 2 good backs. Now, I do believe Minnesota has to work on their offensive line. To me, it's the weakness of the franchise, but their front office has shown ability to patch up things and get really good players 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round and undrafted players. But this is an easy one, man. If you're going to get rich at both places, then don't worry about being the richest. If you're going to get rich working for this company and you're going to get rich working for this company, then don't make the rich thing the primary thing. The quality of front office, the quality of environment, the quality of weapons, the quality across the board was Minnesota. This was really a no-brainer. I was writing something down this morning, and I was writing down if Kirk Cousins, I have it on paper here, if he went to the Jets, it would tell me he's got horrible judgment. First of all, the guy has made $46 million in the last 2 years because he's been franchised. So Kirk Cousins, I mean, deep down in his heart, he doesn't really want to ever believe this. He's been overpaid the last 2 years. The last 2 years, he's been paid above his level. He is a B to a B plus on his best nights. He's not an A. He's not quite as talented as Matt Ryan. I don't think he's quite as talented as Alex Smith, but he's good, and I think he can get to a Super Bowl with Minnesota. I do. He's better than Case Keenum. He's not as good as Phillip Rivers. But I've watched Super Bowls for 40 years. If you have Minnesota's rosters, with those receivers, that defense, that coaching, you can get to a Super Bowl. And that's what you're in this game for. Can you get to a Super Bowl? Minnesota now can. And here's the other thing that absolutely jumps out to me. Aaron Rodgers, the Green Bay Packers, what have I been saying for years? Have wasted 5 to 7 years of Aaron Rodgers' career. They go from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers. It never works out. That's the greatest handoff in NFL history. Forget all of Jim Brown's carries and Adrian Peterson's carries. The best handoff in league history was Favre to Aaron Rodgers. It never works out that way. I mean, Michael Jordan leaves Chicago. Who's their next number 1 pick? You don't know, and I don't either. There's a reason. That's the way it always works. You always go from like a Kobe Bryant to a D'Angelo Russell, or at worst, a Smush Parker. You never go from legend to legend. And Green Bay now goes into next year. I wouldn't make them a favorite to win the division. Green Bay has done the impossible in the NFL. They have no cap space and a bad roster. Generally, if you've got a bad roster, Cleveland, you have a surplus of cap space. San Francisco's rebuilding. They need some pieces. A surplus of cap space. Green Bay's got no cap space and not many great players. And the ones they have, Jordy Nelson, may have to get rid of him. I don't know how you do that. It's almost impossible in the NFL. I don't like their roster, and they have no cap space. I mean, at least Cleveland's got picks and cap space. Niners have picks and cap space. So I think Minnesota, with Kirk Cousins, this division has officially changed. It has officially changed. It will be the Minnesota Vikings division for the foreseeable future. Better roster, better weapons. The front office has shown an ability to sign free agents and draft really, really well, first round and beyond, and undraftable players. They got them all over the roster as well. All right, let me shift to this. I got a lot of stuff today. When I was young, my car caught on fire on the freeway, and I pulled into a Texaco in Las Vegas and took a cab to a Nissan dealer and bought a car and a credit card. I had a $1,500 limit, and that's what I put down. And I'm telling this story because when you're young and you're out of college and you're not making stuff, you got to get that car right. Otherwise, you're doing like I was doing. Every 6 hours, you were pulling into a gas station to put in coolant because you had a leak. Every third or fourth day, you're putting air in the tires because you got a leak. Man, you got to get, when you're young, you got to get transportation right. You're late to meetings. You can't schedule stuff. You're always stressing out. There's anxiety about, is the car going to get me to work, to my date, to my boss, to my meeting? Once I got my car fixed in Vegas, life was great. Got a girlfriend, got a life, got a job. I was reliable. Once I got transportation buttoned up. Think about this. The San Francisco 49ers, for a year I banged on this. Why aren't teams giving up multiple picks for Jimmy Garoppolo? I don't understand it. I don't get it. Bill Belichick's never drafted, Brady included, a quarterback higher than Jimmy Garoppolo in New England. We've seen him in the preseason. We've seen him start in the regular season. We heard multiple reports inside the building they loved him. We heard multiple scouts say, Garoppolo is ready to be a franchise quarterback. And San Francisco only had to give up a second-round pick. Like transportation in your 20s, look at the direction of the 49ers now that they went out and signed the franchise quarterback. This morning, Minnesota had to overpay for one. The Jets reportedly are going to sign Teddy Bridgewater. Good luck with that arm and that wind. Arizona doesn't know what they're doing right now. I don't know what they're doing right now. Maybe they do, but they don't have a quarterback. The only team now in the NFC that doesn't have a franchise quarterback. Denver reportedly is going to sign Case Keenum, but may draft Josh Rosen at 5 as well because they don't really think Case Keenum's next level. Look at, and I'm not even mentioning what are the Browns going to do. We don't know. I mean, there's other teams that have issues at quarterback. We don't know what they're going to do. Transportation in your 20s. You'll get labeled as unreliable. Mm-hmm. Always late. You can't count on Colin. Once I got transportation, my reputation changed. Oh, he's always on time. He's early. Dateable. Same with the Niners. The reason I love the Niners as my most improved team in the league next year, Garoppolo was sitting out there for 2 years. And I kept going on the air saying, what is going on? Look at the available quarterbacks this offseason. These were the available guys. Cousins, Bradford, Bridgewater, A.J. McCarron, Josh McCown, and a bunch of guys in college. Wasn't Jimmy Garoppolo significantly better than all of them? And the guys on the right are college quarterbacks, more tested. Transportation in your 20s. Get it buttoned up. It'll change everything. Look at the Niners offseason now. They have Garoppolo. They can move down in the draft. There's no panic. There's no desperation. There's no overpaying. They have all the leverage in the world. Head coach, check. Franchise quarterback, check. You drive to work every day worrying about, want to move down and get a left tackle? You want to stay here? Both at work. I didn't get it then. I don't get it now. San Francisco is going to be really good and a playoff team for most of the next decade because they did what was obvious and what I still can't figure out why most of the league didn't. They gave up a good draft pick to get the best quarterback available on the market in the last year. All right, Kirk Cousins is a Minnesota Viking. Absolutely great to have you in today. I'm going to give a guy a little love around the corner that because of the era in which he's playing, he is not getting nearly enough love. That's coming up next. Can you imagine taking a car on a 100-day test drive? Of course you can. That's not the way retailers work. Here, have some jeans, a wedding dress, a watch. They don't give you a car, test drive it for 3 months. It doesn't work that way. It does with Casper. It's the 100-night sleep challenge. 100 nights. Sleep on it. They ship it to you for free. If you don't like it, they come and take it for free, give it to a charity, give you your money back. Casper.com code HERD. Now, terms and conditions apply. If you use the code HERD, that's $50 off on select mattresses. They deliver it for free to your door in a box so small, it is hard to believe it is a mattress. You don't need shippers. You'll take it out of the box, down the hall or upstairs, put it on the bed. When the choice is to test a mattress by actually sleeping on it for 100 nights, it's a pretty easy decision. Casper.com, code HERD.
Kevin Durant, the best player on